Well, I love the story of the lead singer Tommy, and after the suicide of Brad, you guys had to find a lead singer, but you guys actually turned him down once, and then you saw his MySpace page. And everybody knows about the Journey singer from the Philippines, but how many people realize that's how Tommy DeCarlo was found?
We did. Well, I never turned him down,
Okay.
but I heard him because he he put up a version of him singing "Don't Look Back." I don't know if it was on YouTube or what it was on, and my wife was listening to it, and I was walking through the kitchen, and I heard this performance of "Don't Look Back," and I realized right away it wasn't the studio track, and I said, which show is that? And she said, what do you mean? I said, which show is that? That's got to be one of our live shows. She said, that's not your band. That's not Brad.
Wow.
I said, yes, it is. She said, no, it's not. and so then I listened much more closely, and I realized it wasn't the band playing. It was a karaoke track of some sort, and then I took it and I ran it through the big speakers in the studio, and I listened really closely, and I could not tell you that wasn't Brad Delp. It was amazing. And Tommy, he had no experience performing at all. He had never been in a band.
Wow.
We, in spite of that, he was so obviously gifted that in 2008 we took him out on a tour. He sang about half the songs. We had another singer with us, and that was it. From that point on, he went home after that tour, and he got himself into shape. And when he showed back up for the next tour, he was the ultimate rock and roll frontman and performer, the totally professional, completely. He walked out on the stage the first show, and he was in control, and he has remained there ever since.
Wow. What a story.
It was just an awesome transformation, and he really, he did it himself. I mean, he of course got a break by being heard at the right time, and he, with some just natural talent, but he turned himself into a truly, dependable professional singer who has, frankly, just done an amazing job. I think the performances of the band now are the best that we've ever had.
Was he ever a little annoying, because he was a fan? Was he ever asking all these crazy questions? Like, oh, come on, man.
Tommy's a really easygoing guy. He's really easy to get along with. There's no ego or any of that other BS that people are used to dealing with really talented people. And in fact, that's true of every single person in the band.
What was he doing when you heard this tape? What was his occupation, for example?
He was working at Home Depot, I believe.
Oh my God!
Wow.
What a great story.